content, like and subscribe. We come to you every Friday, same time, same place, to discuss NFTs, crypto, and Web3 news. And speaking of the latest news, let's get into some NFT related news. We got Doodles 2 being teased out at the moment, gonna be on Flow. So if you have a look here, I hate it that all the tabs
I know,
reload.
dude. Right? That happens only on Twitter.
All right, so if we go here, I'd already come down to here and done all of this for you guys.
Guys, Philip was unprepared. Philip is pretending like he had it all figured out before, but he really did. Is he threw this all together the last second?
Yeah, here we go. Here's the video.
There we go.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
there. He is.
Exact one, but even that.
I still can't hear anything, by the way.
I also can't hear anything on this one anyway.
Oh.
Sometimes that happens because it's muted. Yeah, hold on. Kate, can you hear?
Nope.
Wearables are tending to be interchained. They're all on chain and it's gasless. The people that use their doodles as social representations of themselves, they can create derivative artwork. Okay, so they chose Flow blockchain, no gas. At the end of the day, we do know for a long time that Doodles has wanted to go mainstream. They've made that very, very, very clear. There was a lot of FUD about this because holding an OG Doodle does not give you early access to Doodles 2. You have to be a Genesis box holder or duplicator holder, which was a very stupid thing to do because, I don't know, bro, if you've got a 7 ETH asset, a Doodle OG, that should be your ticket into it. Yes, people were arguing, but if you have the OG, you would have had the opportunity to get you would have been dropped the duplicator and had the opportunity to get the Genesis box. So if you solve that, that's not our problem. But on the other side, I mean, I don't know. This is the first time I've ever seen a big collection just tell their OG holders to go screw themselves, and we have seen a bit of a dip in the floor price as a result of that. But basically, Doodles 2 is going to be your ability to completely change your doodle with different clothing and accessories on chain without any gas immediately. So they call it frictionless conversion. So you can create a wallet by signing into Gmail. You don't need a crypto wallet on Flow, and you'll be able to have these PFPs that you can then dress up. I like the idea in general. I just don't know if Doodles is I like the idea of being able to have a NFT that's just signed up on Gmail that you can make your avatar and change its accessories. I like that as a standalone idea. I just don't really like it through Doodles. Don't know
what I know
think.
is that a lot of builder people and OGs in the space really fuck with Flow. They really fuck with Flow. And for that reason, I'm not surprised they moved over to Flow. I think I don't mind it as a move. I do think that. So with the Doodles thing, telling their Genesis holders to fuck off, they were airdropped that OG box though, right? Which gave them the duplicator.
So if you had a Doodle, then you got a duplicator, right? That came out in May. The Genesis box, I think, was afterwards. Let me just check when the Genesis box came out. Yeah, so the Genesis box was in June, where they had that sort of auction where you could a fair Dutch auction, right? So if you were a Doodle holder, you got the duplicator airdrop to you.
Okay. What about the box?
You had to claim the box.
But if you were a holder, you would have gotten to claim it for free?
No, you had to pay for the box. The
Oh, okay.
duplicator was
It's
what you got
fucked
for
a little
3.
bit. Okay, I would love to know because I don't think it's fucked because I think they thought through that decision and there's a reason they didn't. I would like to know what that reason is. So Jordan, if you're watching this, I'm trying to get round 2 pod, bro. Answer my Instagram DM.
So you can see, I mean, sort of understand them saying if you have a duplicator, that will give you early access to Doodles too, because that was given free to anyone who holds a Doodle.
Sure,
But
sure.
don't really understand them saying the Genesis box, because
Yeah.
that's got a 0.24 ETH floor compared to 1 point, and they haven't run, bro. There was a bit of a pump. I mean, what they used to be
Well, it's because they
0.2295, and
know
now
that Doodles 2 isn't there to make the money. There's going to be hundreds of thousands of them, right? So I think they're like, why would we pour money into something that's not going to bring us money in the short term or long term? They're like, Doodles 2 is not meant to make us money. It's there to push mainstream. The only thing that's going to pump is the Doodles main project, probably, if anything. And then we don't know even. Like we're literally venturing the unknown, by the way, guys. Like people are saying this is a good idea, it's a bad idea. I'm like, we don't fucking know. Like, what happens if Doodles 2 launches and it's like the biggest flop ever and Doodles crashes back down to 1? Like, that's possible. It also is possible that it's the biggest success of all time and now Doodles has replaced Bored Ape Yacht Club because so many people know about them now. And then we see a cute project meta and then Pudgy Penguins flies, Sappy Seals flies. Suddenly we're in the middle of a fucking huge bull market again. Like, literally anything can happen at any 24-hour notice. So for people who are here every day, probably terrible for your mental health, but like, you know, we're doing what needs to be done because we're not going to be fading generational wealth out here, not on the Web3 show. By the way, guys, Philip has decided that it is time the Earth stops to spin, and he wants to stop talking. He wants his camera to freeze. No, he's back. He's back.
I'm back.
I was like, wait, is he staring at me or something on the screen, or is he frozen? Damn, bro. He's frozen still. Philip's out here. He can't take a dub. Oh, wait, there he is. Bro, what are you saying? Are you talking?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out why are you there? Why someone's selling for 3 or 4 ETH when the floor is 0.1?
Oh.
So okay,
don't know.
the rarity. It's got a rarity. It's got a rarity. That's why.
You gonna pick up one of these things?
No, but I'm not. I don't subscribe to this whole like way that they don't communicate. For me, the collection size always of Doodles 2 always turned me off. I'm really not here to hold something for 25 years before I see if it works. I want to buy something that has, you know, ups and downs that I can trade a bit in and out and whatever. And that's not Doodles, unfortunately. And they're too inconsistent for me in their communication, so that they in no way care about the floor price, which is fine. But I mean, if you are someone who's interested in trading and interested in the floor price, it's just not it's a collection that doesn't talk to you. And as you said, Doodles 2 is supposed to be mass adoption. They want to do hundreds of thousands of them. We all saw what that did to the floor price with crypto kitties. So yeah, holding.
I mean, it's one of those things that like the Doodles brand will likely continue to keep building because they've made so much money. It's disgusting. Like they have an basically unlimited amount of funding. They can keep going. So it's like one of those things that they have the ability to not push for money stuff, which in my opinion, like I feel like this is something that Gary Vee would be stoked about. Like I feel like Gary Vee likes this approach that they're taking or is at least is interested in it and how it's going to do, because he also is doing things that aren't actively directly impacting the floor price, but it's actually building the brand of VFriends. When he does VCon, that is a fucking expensive venture, probably losing money on that even, but it's important for the brand, which macro should build a brand, which should bring value. That might not be money. It might be opportunities. It might be something where like one day it's big enough to where he's gotten so many sponsors and rewards and everyone wants to work with him that like every single VFriends holder gets free access to this, you know, fucking amusement park that he's making or whatever the fuck it is. It's one of those things that you can only do that if your brand's that strong and you've put off money because you don't need it. But that means the traders aren't as interested. So this little niche crowd of Web3 degens may not be interested. So for now, they might have to be in slumber mode. Also, I just noticed that your shirt never sent the second one. So I'm just going to resend the second one. I'm going to confirm with you before I send it that the address is right. But I have this thing pulled up. So I'll just resend it after the show.
Okay, and send me that first one's DHL number again. Let me try
True.
track it my side.
Okay.
Because this Puma one, they sent me an email and I went to track it and I had to get a new tracking number. It was at a post office 2 hours away from me. So I don't know. I had to contact them and ask them to send it to the post. So let me track it and see.
Weird.
I live in South
Okay.
Africa. Unfortunately, the post system is like a bit of a joke sometimes. But yeah, we'll talk after the show about that. I appreciate it, Kate. Thank you, my bro. But also part of I agree completely with, I really like your comparison between VFriends and Doodles. I've never looked at it that way, and I think that you're 100% right. 100% right. So Gary Vee is exactly doing that. He's building a brand with mass appeal, which is great for the NFT collection. But if you think of VFriend Series 2, that's 100,000 NFTs there, bro.
Yeah, that one's tough.
That's a huge amount. And yet
tough.
that didn't bother me about still being so bullish on Gary Vee. So why am I so bearish on Doodles when they're doing the same thing? And arguably, they've got, okay, not the Web3 experience of Gary Vee, but they've got Pharrell Williams. They've got, as their brand ambassador, they've got their CEO is ex Billboard, isn't he?
I think so.
Doodle CEO used to run Billboard. So a lot of music connections, a lot of Web2 experience. So it's it's a very interesting point that you make, and it's definitely
if you just don't need money to think about. Yeah, like if because for example, if VFriends went to zero, like he's like, I bet. Like Gary Vee would literally put out a tweet and say bet. Like he would be pumped because he would just know that on a long enough time scale, he's still gonna win. Which is like why there's like certain people and brands that I'm just down to just ride with because I'm like, bro, they're gonna keep going.
I agree with you, but I think it's because my mindset at the moment is not to be buying things that I'm going to have my money tied into for the next 5 years.
Correct.
I used to feel like that, and I used to buy things that I was happy to have my money because I did think over that time it would be up only, even if it was slow up only.
Yep.
Right, but now we've realized that there's ups and downs. But even on the 10 ETH challenge day with Andreas, when you weren't here, I said VFriends as one of my long-term plays. So I'm not looking to acquire things at the moment long-term in the NFT space at all. Not interested. Yeah. So that's probably why I'm also not thinking of it that way. Another thing to do with Doodles, actually, they acquired Golden Wolf. Did you see that?
I did.
So Golden Wolf's a full animation studio. So now they've got the animation down, and I thought the animation was always pretty good. And now they've definitely got the music down with the Billboard CEO Pharrell Williams. So now they've got this studio, right? And this studio has worked on like Rick and Morty and like a lot of the really, really good stuff out there.
This is huge. This is really cool for me to see this.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Dude, honestly, if you scroll up just so we can see the animation, for people who are watching, there's gonna be a time where we go back. You're not gonna remember this because everyone forgets within 24 hours. But when eventually NFTs trend all the way back down at some point and it's dead and boring again, that's when people will be looking to get into projects that are fun, that are doing stuff to the point where you're like, man, they are crushing it. I want to be a part of that again. Like for a long time, I didn't care to be in Doodles. But the amount of work they put in, the partnerships they've had, the stuff they're coming out with, the animations I've seen, it makes me feel a little bit of FOMO because you're like, look, there's like 15 projects that are worth buying at any given point. And of those 15, probably 5 of them have done something in the recent 6 months that make you think of them. And when when whales especially are choosing to pick into projects, they're not looking at every single one. They're looking at Pudgy. They're looking at Doodles, looking at Bored Apes. There's only a few handful of projects that are like doing anything remotely interesting to where you're like, man, I'm trying to be part of that club. They're on a road that I'm not on, or they're on a train that I'm not on yet. I need to get on. And like, that's where these kind of partnerships matter. Even though this isn't bringing money straight into these holders' wallets, they're like, God damn, they just signed with this. Look what they put out. Like, look at this commercial. Digital is doing a Super Bowl commercial. Like, that's wild shit. And like that eventually will work its way back. I just don't know if it's going to be in the form of like money in your pocket, which is why I threw that out my head out the window a long time ago. I just said that's not going to be the thing I think about, even though it'll deter me as a trader, I think.
Yeah, so exactly that. I mean, short term not interested, long term starting to be interested. So it does confirm here. Doodle's CEO is Billboard's former president Julian Hogan. And then Pharrell Williams, we know, is their chief brand officer. They raised about 4 months ago, and we did bring this to you. They raised $54 million with Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian, and that put them at that stage at a valuation of $700 million. And that was still in the bear market, by the way, whereas most other people's valuations were in the bull market. So, yeah, I mean, they're worth at least $500 million, which is quite impressive.
Jeez.
So, yeah, I mean, definitely interesting, and you can see the strategic moves that they're making. Let's just call a spade a spade. The music side is now tech. Now they've got this this company that can do animation for them, an animation studio. So that's tech. So you can see them rolling out like a kid's cartoon very easily with great music. You can see them rolling out music videos with big artists because of the Billboard connections. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of future here. That you can see that they've got a plan. And yeah, I don't like how silent they are on Twitter. But again, they're not trying to pump the floor, so they may be intentionally not wanting to misuse it. Very interesting. It's being run more like a company than a degen NFT project, which is
they just don't give a fuck, dude. They don't. That's why I think that's why they're not as active on Twitter. I think if you're super active on Twitter, you have to constantly put out fires. And I think because they're not, they can just say, fuck it. We're doing this, and we know it's going to piss off a ton of our holders. And everyone's going to be mad for 24 hours, 48 hours, and then no one will care. Like, I mean, how many times has Frank said something? Everyone of Twitter blew the fuck up for 48 hours. He's on Spaces, and then nobody cares again. And then he does it again 4 weeks later. Like, nobody cares.
I don't agree. Like, if you're in the Web3 space, which Doodles started as a Web3 project and is now going the Web2 sort of route, right? If you started in the Web3 space, you understand Web3, things like Twitter are incredibly important, and how hard is it to have someone tweeting and retweeting and whatever it may be, just to keep your Web3 initial holders happy. I mean, I don't really understand their thinking with that complete silence. And then you got Poopy on his personal one, tweeting out official Doodles stuff all day because Doodles not, and I mean, it's ridiculous. They're a Web3 company, Doodles. They didn't exist before NFTs. They've got a Twitter. Use your Twitter. Why you have to go to all their founders' Twitters
but
to try to figure
why.
out?
Like, I think they're trying to just build, and I think they're just trying not to listen to like the noise because I think they have a vision.
Don't listen.
And they're just trying to make it happen.
Just communicate, bro.
They should. No, I'm saying they should. I'm saying they should, but I'm saying this is why they're not. Like, I don't know if they should or shouldn't. I'm just saying, like, the reason I think that they're not is because they're making a bunch of big decisions that are very long-term focused, and they're going to piss off.
Take some of the $700 million valuation, and take a very small amount and hire a social media manager.
No, but I'm saying they don't want to, is what I'm saying. Like, that's why they're not, because they aren't interested. Because they're like, we don't need this to grow. They're like, we don't need to be communicating every decision.
Doesn't matter whether you need it or not. Your holders would appreciate it. But
I'm saying, like, they don't care. Like, I know, I agree with you, by the way. I think you should, and I think they should. I think they should do it. I'm telling you why I think they're not. Like, I'm not defending. I'm just saying they're not because this. Because they don't care to respond every single time. That's why they don't tweet everything. That's the reason. Because I can't think of another reason. Like, why else would you not utilize an account with 300,000 followers when you know it's going to bring, price action back and forth? And the reason is because they're all a bunch of OG Dapper Labs guys. They don't want to care, so they're choosing not to care. That's the reason I think that they're not doing it.
I understand. I still don't understand why
Phil's trying so hard not to say, but they should. I know they should. Right. I agree, dude. I'm going to roast. If I ever get Jordan back on the podcast, that's my first question. Or not my first question. It'll be somewhere in there and be like, yo, what's the deal? Tell me why. Because I think I know.
They are native Web3. I understand Porsche to some degree is native Web2. Okay, they never tweet. If you and Doodles used to be active on Twitter. It's almost like the Twitter person resigned and they've just never gotten around to replacing that person. It's stupid. Anyway, such a small thing. It's such in the end of the day, they are making, I'm saying, compared to everything they are doing, the fact that their Twitter is not active is, in the bigger picture, is not the hugest thing in the world.
Yeah.
But it's still freaking.
They should be more active though. Like, complete silence is not good. That I don't like that at all, and I don't think that's good. Like a good business strategy. But like, not tweeting out as much as some of these other projects, I don't think is bad. But not going at all for a month on end, that's a little strange. Yeah, but other than that, 100%. Like silence and with a little bit of tweets here and there, I don't really mind that. But you're right. It's 100% gonna affect the floor, which makes the holders unhappy. But if Doodles again just wants to build and they don't care, they're gonna keep doing it because they got the money.
And
And they got
I think you keep your holders happy to some degree. Anyway, RTFKT Artifact has put out a small tweet thread about their 2023 journey, about their plans. This was put out on the 23rd of Jan, so about 4 days ago. So they've said here this year we are all on a journey where we focus on our foundations, core collections, creating and making the future happen, powered by interactive storytelling, leading to the release of a Project Animus and a major in real life event at the end of the year. Slower, better, together. The Artifact team's effort is focused on quality, creating new experiences, and they've put in brackets rtfkt.com, a huge revamp in the works, inventory, etc., for clones, creators, and the ecosystem. Quality is the motto, focusing on what we love and do best. Physicals, shipping next-gen connected physical products and continuing to work with Nike and partners to innovate in the world, merging products and experiences. This is the year we are going to see a lot of RTFKT in the wild. Eggs, as we start to reveal more about the lure of the Animus and the community participates in the story, you'll discover some of the insane work going into the next gen digital collectible IP. So that's the eggs. And partnerships, they will accelerate the future with dope partners and having some exciting new ones to announce. Pod burning. So this I think actually happened. The campaign to Exodus, is starting from tomorrow. It's the key moment for the journey to start. No mint, you choose what to do. Details on how it works over here. And interactive storytelling. Offline and online will continue to innovate our community into the law. Everything connects, but first you need to be ready to go on a journey together. Buckle up for the Exodus. I hope you're ready for this year.
And what are your thoughts on it? Because you're the big Artifact fan.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you don't want to know what I think. I think that eggs are very cheap at the moment. I think that clones are incredibly cheap. If only ETH was $1,000, I would be buying more and more and more and more and more. I mean, their storytelling is just.
Hold on, your audio just cut out.
Yeah, it's because of this. Can you hear now?
Yep. Not the video, but I can hear your voice.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just showing you the graphics on this. I mean, look at the quality of what they're doing on a consistent basis. They've got huge resources. They've got a very successful Web2 brand. And they've proven themselves to be, builders in Web3 space as well. If there is an example of a Web2 brand that has done well in Web3, it is Nike. They made $70 or $80 million last year on their physicals alone. They are one of the most, if not the most successful. I think they're the most successful Web2 company to come into Web3. Yes, they've made mistakes, and the floor price is showing that now. But they're not going to give up, and there's too much at stake. They've got proof of concept that they can make a lot of good money if they do this well. And they were very quick to come out, admit their mistakes, and say that they're rectifying them. And I believe them. So I'm as bullish as always. He also, in a separate tweet, said that they are going to be doing things a bit slower. And that's what he means here by saying quality and with more input from the community. So they have heard. I think they did learn from what happened end of last year with everything. And I think now they've taken that on board and they're not rushing things out without getting community input. And now all of a sudden the floor's sitting in nothing because nothing's happened yet this year. So, they can't win if they do and they can't win if they don't. But long term, they will win. And that's my feeling on it.
Probably. I like CloneX, and like I said, I always say this every time we bring up CloneX. I'm a fucking Metaverse Maxi fam. Y'all already know I'm a Metaverse Maxi. It's in my fucking Twitter bio now because I'm making more gaming content. So I said Metaverse Gaming Maxi just to make it known that I am interested in that stuff for when new people find me. But I'm a Metaverse Maxi, and of all the projects that I see so far, CloneX is pretty much at the top for like what I could see roaming around in the metaverse, as far as like when I think of metaverse, what projects come to mind as like the most capable slash could be in there, and I see some kind of legitimacy to it. CloneX has already worked towards that. Some of the animations and trailers that come out are really sick. I have no idea how much work, and like if they're even working towards like interoperability within a metaverse, or if that's years away still. But as far as what they've come out with, it reminds me of Ready Player One. It makes me really excited. It doesn't make me excited enough to spend 5 Ethereum to join it, but it's still really cool. And I think if they ever drop, no, I maybe it's cheap in the grand scheme of things, but to buy into a project, maybe to flip for sure. But for me, who I just want to like be part of a brand that's cool, I'd be more interested in like a secondary collection, just because that's like easier to trade back and forth. It's probably more profits,
but I'm saying if you wanted a long-term NFT, would you rather have would you rather have a Clone X or Doodles? If someone was giving it to you, forget the floor price.
Doodles.
Really, hey?
Wow. I would, if I was being given one to hold because I fuck with the brand.
So hold, you can't sell it for 5 years.
Yeah. I just don't like, I don't have any emotional tie to Clone X at all. Like I like them and I think they're cool, but I would flip it. Like if I had a Clone X that was given to me, or I bought it at...
Which one? The question, let me rephrase the question. In 5 years, will Doodles be worth more or Clone X?
Their Genesis? Oh man. I think Clone X would probably be, I feel like Clone X maybe would be worth more, but man, that's actually really hard. I don't particularly love either one, but I think Doodles has given me FOMO with all their animations and stuff they always put out. With Clone X, I feel like Clone X for me is more of like a question of which suit I'm gonna wear. Like when I look at Clone X, I think of like if I'm gonna go into the metaverse and I need a suit, it would look like that kind of thing. And I think that's why it makes me excited, but I don't particularly, because it's the only one, I'm not particularly like that interested, I guess, because I think when the metaverse is closer, there will be a lot of projects and a lot of trailers and things that are very similar to the clones. And the art just doesn't speak to me. So maybe that's why, like, I just believe in branding and I believe in like the digital identity that you have. I don't know, man. That was tough. I would like to see what other people think about the clones. I just think they just look so robotic. They're so like AI and robotic that I don't feel the personality / connection that I would feel if I had like a pudgy penguin or something.
Genix now could separate from Clone X, couldn't they? That's my concern. No, they can't. So Artifact purchased Clone X. And Artifact is Nike's Web3 sort of division. So yes, there is Swoosh coming, which they have said that Clone X holders will get benefits from, which we're actually going to look at. We'll jump to it now. Just looking at the floor has gone up a little bit on the eggs, because in that thing he mentioned that it was going to be the next thing that they work on would be the egg drop. So yeah, there has been an increase over here. It was 0.73 and it's now 0.82. So there has been a slight increase in the last couple of days. Let's just jump over here. So I don't know if you saw this, Kate, but Nike.swoosh released on Polygon. So this is Nike. This is separate to Artifact. This is Nike's flagship Web3 venture.
I'm in this. Do you know I have one?
What did you get?
I have a Nike Swoosh NFT. Like I got it because I'm a holder of Katie, who's one of the main girls at Ledger. But I bought her NFT project way before she was at Ledger. And if you're one of her holders, she spoke at an event and Nike Swoosh approached her and said, "Hey, we loved what you said." And then they ended up talking and they struck a deal. And so she was able to get first, basically beta experience for any of her holders that responded within like 24 hours. So I literally just texted her. I was like, "Yo, is this for real?" And she was like, "Yeah." So I got instant access and I minted it like that day. And it's just sitting in my wallet now. It's pretty cool.
So what is the floor price on them?
Oh, that's the thing. It's not. It's like they're literally just like sitting in. It's not like in an open sea. It's like on their Nike Swoosh website. It's the only place I can see it. And I don't think it's meant to be traded. Like it's my name. It's like K.swoosh or something, I think. But it's one of those things you just get access to it. For me though, like again, I pretty much don't have a trading mentality towards NFTs first. So like for that, it's just cool to be part of that early and just to see what that's like. There's nothing there right now. is the thing. Like I had a couple reporters approach me from like Morning Brew, and they're like, "Yo, I saw your tweet about Nike swoosh." She goes, "Nobody knows anything about it. Like, can you tell me anything?" And I was like, "No." He was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Bro, there's literally nothing to say. Like, it's just the NFT." And then nothing else on the page. Like, there's nothing to. He's like, "No, like, just book a call, like 10 minutes, and like no more." And I was like, "No, you don't understand. There is nothing on this page that I could tell you about. Nothing. It's just a card with my name on it, but there's nothing left. Like, they just started."
How shit is this, bro? Dot swoosh is not available in your location.
Oh, damn.
It's not fair. Even you asked me the other day about my Twitter Blue. It's not available in South Africa. You cannot apply for Twitter
just
Blue.
Fucking move to Seattle, man. No big deal. Just pick up and go. You know,
no problem. Next week's show, it's gonna be me. You'll see my wife and 3 children sleeping behind Cade.
They're in the
bean bag. I mean, just come to Seattle. Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna work. All right,
I stopped sleeping in there, by the way.
Good. It's not good for your back. I told you.
Yeah, I know.
Keep an eye on Nike.swoosh for us. And if anything sort of happens, let me know, because I can't even get into it here. But I do know that it's Nike's mass adoption drive into sort of Web3. So it's going to allow anyone to be able to buy digital collectibles under the Nike brand, so digital Nike shoes and things like that. It's going to be different collections than what you are seeing through Clone X, and it is going to be interesting to see what benefits, if any, Clone X holders or artifact holders get from it.
I'm gonna take a screenshot of what the page looks like and just.
You can just share your screen. Just say present.
Oh, I can share my screen.
Yeah.
Oh
There's
shit!
a thing there that says present.
You're right. Okay, let me let it load. Let me log in real quick, and I'll share my screen when it's ready.
All right. So yeah, interesting. I still like the Clone X ecosystem. I was going to say I still like the play of buying an egg, but I like all the plays. Sure. You guys know it. I'm not going to carry on about it. I'm obviously biased. But yeah, we have seen the floor of eggs go up slightly, but we haven't seen the floor of the clones really move much. If anything, they've gone down slightly, which is not really great. Then another interesting announcement. We know Pudgy Penguin's making a lot of moves lately. So Little Pudgies has become cross-chain, which is really cool, which basically means you can move your Pudgy from Ethereum to Polygon, your little Pudgy from Ethereum to Polygon, and all the rest. So here, I'll show you this video. If my audio goes funny, I'm sorry. It does sometimes happen. Now they're in a different world, on a different chain. It's gone from Ethereum to Polygon to Aptos. How cool. So you can now move them across different chains. Spread our vision to other ecosystems, starting with Arbitron. Sorry, not Aptos. Arbitron, Polygon, and BNB. Thanks to innovative omni-chain technology developed by the wizards at Penguins and Layer Zero Labs. In a difference to our bridging, our soul transport technology automatically rewards you with a soul-bound token based on the chain you bridge to. And join us tomorrow for a chat. What do you think of this, my brother?
I'm down, bro. And it's interesting. It's funny because I remember when Luca Nets and holy shit. I remember when Luca Nets and Frank were both talking and they had some synergy exchanged, I guess, and they were like, we're both going to do something. It's going to be really cool. We're talking about this big thing. This is that big thing, I think, because they both have now bridged over to other blockchains within the same month. So I think they were talking about this for a while, and I think it's dope, dude. I think these are the moves that happen when you're a first mover that give you first mover status, that puts you in that kind of category when you're already doing well and you make a big move, big jump that no one's done before with very little negative anything, where it's like, yo, you can go and come back. There's no reason to do or not to do other than because. And
So
that's a big up.
why didn't Frank make his cross trade instead of moving them off Solana, saying he's going to move them off
It's a
Solana?
slightly different approach. Like he's basically putting his bets on Utes on the Polygon ecosystem
I'm
to be
I'm
number one, and then with Utes
I'm
also
telling
trying
you,
to.
I don't think this is a good move for either collections.
You don't think
I
that
know it's
having a
only happened.
collection be ETH but also be interoperable across chains is not good?
No, I think Little Pudgies is good. I don't think DGod's moving off Solana and Utes moving onto Polygon are good for Frank long term. And let's clip this and look where he's at in a year's time.
Sounds good.
Because I've just learned you don't shoot your core community in the face. Same as what Doodles is doing at the moment by not tweeting, not looking after their Web3.
Yeah, it's possible.
So Frank's shooting his Solana maxis, the guys who made him who he is, in the face by and having nothing on Solana and moving off it. Either way, Pudgy Penguin's floor continues to rise. It dipped up a bit and now it's come back a bit. Yeah, looking good. I mean, listen, they've had a huge run up in the last month, hey? So I'm not. None of this is really about buying or selling these particular NFTs now. Obviously, not financial advice. But personally, I don't think now's a good time to buy either. I'm eyeing an entry on a Little Pudgy, to be honest. But I'm looking at about 0.3. If it hits there, I'm gonna try get into it.
Yeah, I agree. 0.3 is probably a good buy-in.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. Anything else about Little Pudgies?
No, Little Pudgies I like. I was looking at Little Pudgies. They dropped to temporarily at 0.5. There's a period of time where I almost jumped in, and they bounced back to 0.7. I was like, fuck. But I do. Little Pudgies, again, is another one of those that I would probably want to just hold to kind of be on the train with them and be able to ride the pumps and feel like part of the pump. But I don't know if I would flip it just because, I don't know. It's not a bad one to hold with the intention to flip just later on, just like as a longer term play. It's one of those that's probably a little bit safer than other projects.
Yeah, Little Pudgies. I would get maybe a Refriend Series 2, maybe a Bean to be in the Zuki ecosystem a bit, maybe a Moonbird Oddity. They're all about 1 to 1.5 Ethereum around there. I wouldn't mind. I don't want the exposure of the 10 ETH that their main collections are, but I wouldn't mind 10 exposures for 10 ETH. Do you know what I mean? Like 1 ETH each and have the sub collection of 10 OGs,
Yeah, true. Agreed. Also, I've been trying to figure out, I must have had the wrong Nike swoosh or something. Oh, it was the wrong one. Okay, well, Nike has this really confusing thing where if I type in Nike swoosh, there's like multiple meanings to that. Like it might be the NFT swoosh, or it might just be some like random part of their main website that's also named Nike swoosh. So anyways, I'm going to share my screen now for the Nike swoosh thing. So guys, this is technically alpha because this is beta. Not everyone has access to this. Here we go.
So the first time that Cade is officially sharing his screen.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
All right. Let's see if I fuck it up.
So
this is just like Restream. Okay, cool.
Okay, right, then I think I have to allow it. Hold on.
All right.
There we go. Then I have to, I think, remove mine. Let's just see if we see yours or mine. Yeah, just give me a sec. And then we should see yours.
Hey. Boom. All right, guys. So this is what it looks like. You can zoom in and out. It's just like I said. It's just my name. .swoosh. The card looks like this. Again, there's literally nothing to say. You click view details, and oh god, I hope there's nothing incriminating on here. Hold on. Let me just okay, that's fine. So yeah, it's just this, guys. It's just your card, owned by me. That's literally
what blockchain is it
on? Dude, I don't even fucking know.
Click at the bottom. It says view smart contract. Yeah.
Polygon.
That would be interesting. Polygon. Hey? So that's what we're seeing. We're seeing that all these big Web2 brands, Starbucks was on Polygon also, Nike on Polygon. It's very interesting. Yeah. Very, very interesting indeed.
Yeah, but anyways, that's it. I mean, I liked it. For me, it's just cool to have. Like I said, I'm a card collector. I have Yu-Gi-Oh cards just to have them.
Maybe, then as that happens to you, you think to yourself, who do I know? that absolutely loves Nike online? Who do I know? No one. And you could have said, Katie, I don't know if you know, but I do a show every week with my friend Philip, and he is a maxi. Surely you can organize him one or so, of which you've got thousands sitting there doing nothing.
Wait,
And
thousands
also
of what?
to be honest, that I can get a Nike swoosh also.
Bro, the only way you can get in is being a holder.
Yeah, I know. I want to get one with my
Oh,
name on.
dude, there's one listed, and it's at like 2,000 SOL or something, some unbelievable number.
I don't want to sell it. I want to be
What?
a part of it.
What?
Who dropped you that Nike swoosh thing, Katie?
No, I bought it, or like I claimed it, but it was only because I held Katie's NFT for the past year.
Okay.
But it's like an art project, and there's only a couple that are like in the project, and then of those, 90% of her holders don't even like participate in NFTs. Like that sold out a long time ago, and it was by a bunch of people on TikTok who are making content that aren't here anymore. So like there's literally not, it's like it's really hard to get in her project now, which is why I bought in a year ago. But that was the only way in. There's no way to get into that community, and it was a 24-hour slot. And so I didn't even know what was going on.
I was believing you, and as you're going on more and more, I think that maybe if you really wanted to at that stage, you could have got your brother in.
I don't know. I just barely got in.
We got Amazon, who is massive. They've got a whole metaverse entry coming in, a layer 1 and a layer 2. They want to launch sort of sounds like a marketplace similar to OpenSea, where they can sell NFTs as part of the things that they want to do. They also say that there's a focus on gaming here and gaming NFT applications. It's not official news, but a lot of insiders are saying that Amazon is going to be making very big moves into Web3 in the next couple of months. What do you think?
This would be sick if that's true. That would be very cool if that's true. What do you think?
I think it is true. I'm not really sure what they're thinking of doing it, but they definitely want to come into Web3. It makes a lot of sense for me for them to integrate blockchain technology into their stock checking systems and things like that internally. But as far as coming up as a NFT platform against OpenSea, I don't know. We've seen companies try to do it, like Coinbase failed miserably.
True.
Spent tens of millions of dollars on that stupid executive.
Yeah.
We had this conversation, Kate. You and I would have done nothing for $1 million, and we don't need $10 million to do nothing.
It's true.
So yeah, it's not immediately clear what's coming from it. Different sources are saying different things. A fifth source said Amazon is exploring a number of Web3 initiatives. It comes both the platform and Amazon additional crypto forays. Number of internal hires would like to be a prerequisite. Amazon Web Services has posted occasional roles for developers and engineers in Web3. The e-commerce site is not as well known for exploring crypto or blockchain. An Amazon Coins program continues to exist following its introduction in 2013, which is very early. The CEO of Amazon has previously stated that he's open to the company selling NFTs and that the company is not closing the door on cryptocurrencies generally. Also, an open question. We don't know the full extent of Amazon's Web3 ambitions and end goals. Whether the company intends to compete with the likes of OpenSea and Rarible isn't exactly clear, but two sources said both entities would view a successful launch as a substantial threat. With the number of customers Amazon has, they could make a huge splash in the NFT marketplace. Over 2.5 million users have so far interacted with OpenSea to date. Yeah, I mean, this just sounds like reading the Coinbase article again. Obviously, Amazon's bigger than that, but I want to see what happens. I'm going to be watching what happens because there's been a lot of talk about this in different from different sources. I mean, this article alone has got 5 different internal sources, so something's going to happen. It's going to be interesting to see what it is.
Yeah, they're just injecting themselves in, bro. Amazon, we'll see what fucking happens. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, they just. I don't know, dude. I just hope they. I guess it doesn't matter. Like when we say like did the project do well in Web3, like we're talking about to the 15,000 people that care about the NFT world, the DGen people on Twitter. Like it's funny because it's like if they don't get this small group of crypto DGens who are here right now, if they don't get our approval, does that mean they're fucked, or does that mean they're just going to keep going anyway? Like a project as big as, or a company as big as Amazon, like that's my question is like, do they even give a single shit about what people on crypto Twitter think? I feel like a company like that does not care. So I'm interested because it depends how much money they spend and how lazy they are, if they care or not. And yeah, it's pretty much all based on that. Like if they pull a Porsche or if they pull a Nike. By the way, speaking of Nike, I did actually tell everyone 24 hours before this thing closed to get into this. I even linked her NFTs and her TikTok. So I did in fact tell, if Philip had my notifications on Twitter, he would have seen this video where I explained all the details. And I said she's working at Ledger, did a collab with Nike. W's. Oh wait, I thought
Are you finished?
I thought the video was playing.
No, are you finished? Fuck. Are you finished now with your rant?
I'm
not one of your followers with notifications on because I've got a lot of things on my plate. However, I am a good friend. I am a good friend of yours, and you could have forwarded your own tweet to me, knowing that I don't have notifications on, and knowing that I'm really big into Nike. You know, I would have thought of you like that, you know, but it's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
Well, I must be a piece of shit, guys, because I did not think about that.
But you tell everyone. You tell everyone, but you don't tell me.
I told everyone because it was a flex, though. But you know what I mean when I say like I put that tweet out because it helps Katie, it helps the brand. It also helps me because I'm like, look what a W this was for a trade. Yeah. No, I feel like shit though because I did not think about that.
No, it's okay. It's all right. It's okay. You know, I found $1 million coin yesterday, and I thought, you know, Kate would really appreciate this. Yeah, and I was.
Kate's not a trader.
Actually, no, I've got it packaged up. I was going to send it through to you, but now that you didn't think of me with Nike, you know.
I'm gonna be honest, dude. I don't think about anyone, but I also don't expect anyone to think of me. Like that's probably why I don't, because I don't think about that for anyone though. And that probably makes me a bad friend though. But I don't think like that.
No,
that's
okay.
Not what my mind goes normally.
I think I might have used to have been the same. Bianca's taught me. I'm not saying your wife will teach you. I'm saying she's like you get. I don't know if you've heard. Probably haven't. You know, there's like that book Love Languages where, depending on who you are, you've got different languages. Some people like words of praise. Other people like gifts. Other people like affection. Like as their love language to show that they love you, they'll take your hand or whatever. So
wait, so what's
Bianca's
yours?
very much. I've got no idea. I'm on the fence between two, but Bianca's very much a giver, like physical stuff. She'll to make you know, like when I used to come in from work in the early days, there would always be, whether it be a little chocolate or something, there'd always be something next to my bed that she had bought for me. It's slowed down now because I sort of like, look, you know, thanks, but
she's like, this motherfucker's buying $200,000 JPEGs. He can afford chocolate.
No, but it's not about that. It's not the value of it.
Yeah.
It's the fact that then I know that she was thinking of me when she was at the shops or whatever. And she does do it. She does still do it sometimes, but not as much. I guess it's actually our 15-year anniversary coming up in less than a month. On the 22nd of Feb, we will have been married for 15 years.
Damn. That's a lot of years, bro.
And on the 12th of Feb, so in 2 weeks, I'm going to be 40 officially.
Hey. What you think
and
about that?
On the 13th of Feb, I am stopping to smoke. The day after my birthday.
Oh.
So there's a whole lot of alpha.
Wow.
And on the 9th of Feb, this is not a nice one. On the 9th of Feb is a 2-year anniversary of my dad passing. So there's a lot of stuff happening in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And then the 14th of Feb is Valentine's Day and the Blur airdrop. On the same day.
You only said Valentine's Day so that your wife would be like, okay, good, he didn't forget. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, look, we can't go out if Ellen tells us here there's a blur airdrop. So
This is why
let's
I need to be
celebrate
single right
Valentine's
now.
on
This is
the.
why I need to be single. If I had a girlfriend, she'd be like, "Oh, like what are we doing today?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "It's we had like planned it." I'd be like, "Oh, I have a coffee bake stream or something." Like, ah, God, that honestly scares me sometimes because my head's going in so many different directions because there's so many things I'm doing, and then I'm like, "Fuck, dude, there's no way I'm gonna be able to date anyone until like I'm not running around like a crazy person with a chicken with his head cut off kind of thing." A little bit of organization would help, I think, my life a lot if I had a little bit of organization. If anyone
I
has any
think
alpha,
Mrs. Cade will help you
I don't know
in
if that would
many
help me.
ways.
Do you think it would help me?
The right Mrs. Cade, yeah, the right Mrs. Cade.
Fuck, dude. Well, I hope so, because yeah, organization. Organization's the reason none of my shit gets done. Organization's the reason I don't remember to text my friends when Nike swoosh comes out. Like I just
No, don't talk shit. That's
no
not
idea.
organization. That's just thinking of others.
No, that's just not thinking about anything. That's just me
Yeah,
saying
I've
lit
given you
and then
shit.
moving on.
I'm giving Kate. I've given you shit for nothing.
No, I know you're giving
Hundred
me shit, but
percent.
I'm saying I'm like my thought process there is that literally did not come across my head because my brain just went like awesome, and then the second I made that tweet, I was like, okay, video, I got to film, and then it was like stream, and then it was like scheduled podcast. Like my brain is literally like
I
gonna blow.
really, I'm really, really like making it out to be a lot more than it is. As I showed you, it actually I can't even access it in my country. So I'm just
That would have
giving you a bit of.
sucked. Imagine you had spent 2,000 Solana to get into this, and then you were like, oh, would you
Can't
have
access
sued?
it. Don't forget, my shoes are coming to you. Hey, don't you open them? I will kill you.
Oh,
I
I
haven't
forgot those are
opened
coming.
anything. Even my VFriend cards, which you can see much better today
True.
behind me in those green boxes. I
Yeah.
haven't opened the boxes. I've got like
Damn.
I don't know 10 or 15 packs in there. I
Did
haven't
you send
opened
me
it
the
at all.
shipping information for that? You sent me it, right? For the shoe or for the shoes. I have that in DM
It
somewhere.
hasn't been shipped off yet.
Okay. All right.
I had
Definitely
to put in your
remind me.
address. I will. I will. But if you get a freaking pair of awesome shoes, just
I'm gonna
fucking
open it
remember
on
they're
stream,
mine.
baby. Let's fucking
Do a video
go.
to all your followers, knowing I won't see it, saying, look how nice my shoes are. And don't forget to buy
Fuck.
Katie's NFT. No mention
Exactly.
of Philip. Absolutely
None.
nothing. No, nothing. Only
And then I'm gonna
Katie,
open it on
Katie, Katie,
stream.
Katie.
Gonna put
Everything's
on the
Katie.
shoes.
She works for Ledger. She's in there with Nike. Just amazing. Well, there, maybe that's your Mrs. Kate there.
Maybe. We'll see.
Oh, that's some alpha. That's some alpha. All right. I must make sure I don't clip this. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. Hmm.
I mean, everyone's
Moving
on
right
the
on.
chopping block, or
Okay.
everyone's possible. What do you mean?
No, you're not backtracking now. I know you
What do you
too well.
mean? Everyone
Uh,
is possible. We're in Web3,
no,
man.
that was not a maybe like that. That
What do you
was
mean? It was a maybe like any other maybe. Guys, Philip has smoked before the show. Philip's having too much fun right now on the Web3 show.
Kate, I think you and Katie would make a good match.
Yeah.
See, all the time, licking your lips a little bit and playing with your
Licking my lips.
hair. And
My lips are dry and my arms are on the table. What do you mean?
okay, whatever.
Guys, Philip
Whatever.
is smoking. Philip is smoking. It's okay. We forgive him. I smoked on the stream once. It's okay. We'll move on from this. We'll be all right because Ethereum's unlocking billions.
Thank you, Kate. Ethereum is unlocking billions. You making Gen X laugh, or I'm making Gen X laugh. Both of us are making Gen X laugh. All right, let's get back into it. Ethereum unlocking billions. Yeah, so this is really, really interesting. You can stake ETH, and a big part of the reason that they moved to proof of stake was a part of this, but you haven't been able to take out any staked ETH. And now in March, it might be delayed because often with these things with Vitalik, it is delayed. A huge amount of Ethereum is going to be unlocked soon, where if you stake it, you'll be able to take it out anytime. So during a meeting that was last year, the end of last year, Ethereum developers decided to make staked ETH on Ethereum's Beacon chain available for withdrawal with the Shanghai update as early as March this year. The meeting was ratified last week. So they've confirmed that that's their intention. The Beacon chain holds, listen to this, bro, $21 billion. which is over 15.9 million Ethereum, staked within Ethereum's proof of stake system. Additional ETH is voluntarily staked into the beacon chain daily and cannot be withdrawn until Shanghai activates. So by the time March arrives, the beacon chain will far exceed the 16 million ETH. The Shanghai update will include 5 Ethereum improvement protocols. So yeah, I mean, on the one side, this is incredibly bullish long term because it's going to attract a lot more people to staking if they know that they could stake for a minute and then take it off if they want to. I think a lot of people have been scared to stake in general because they know that the Shanghai update hasn't happened and they cannot take it off. So from that perspective, long term, I believe this is really bullish for Ethereum. Short term, we could see a bit of a dump because people who maybe had excess funds 3 months ago and staked now can withdraw that ETH and might just very well sell it and liquidate, might have different views on crypto or whatever it may be. And $21 billion worth is a huge amount. And that could have a short-term negative impact on the price of Ethereum. That's just my view, not financial advice.
Yeah, I mean, unlocking billions of dollars of ETH. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't have too many thoughts on this, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty much what I said. There's long term, it's very good for the chain. It really is. But short term, there might be a very small dip or medium dip. I don't know, like $100 here or there. It might happen and then be bought out.
Kind of depends on like what the narrative on ETH is that exact day. Like if people are kind of bearish on ETH, they'll probably end up selling. But if they're bullish, it might be totally fine. Nothing might happen.
I think anytime in general that you see more supply of anything come onto a market, that typically lowers the price, right? Supply and demand. I mean, it's basic, they're like really, really fundamental economics. But that's short term. Long term, I do think it's a good thing for the currency.
Yeah.
Shadow Fork goes live. So they keep saying here on track for March delivery. Again, we'll wait to see, but it should be somewhere around there. So yeah, man, going to be interesting to see what it does short term, but it is important to be aware of when it's happening because again, there could be that short term dump from it.
True.
And that's it from me, Cade. Anything you want to talk about? Any apologies you want to make? Any proposals you want to put out there? Cade.
I don't know. Let's see. No.
Okay. No? All good. Guys, thank you very much for joining us. Look, I can speak on behalf of both of us when I say both of us love this time together, me and Cade, and love this time with you guys. So thank you for joining. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. We come to you every single Friday, same time, same place, to bring you the latest Web3 news, anything NFTs, crypto that's going on. Thank you guys again. Keep well, look after each other. We'll see you here next week. Adios.
Let's go.